everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a reading vlog. Are we surprised? No, as we shouldn't be. I've been doing reading vlogs a lot, mostly for the past while, so maybe you haven't been on YouTube for like 2 years, if you are surprised. Anyways, the books I am going to be reading are all going to be letter themed, so like they're going to be writing letters to people. It's going to be a major aspect in the plot. I'll talk about how lettery the book is, and yeah, so I'm going to tell you the books that I picked, and then I'm going to tell you what I think my least favorite to favorite will be out of this, and at the end of the video you're going to see my favorites. Okay, so I'm going to just list them. I'm going to list them in order of the one I think I like the most to the one I think I like the least. So first we have Letters to the Lost, which is about these people who leave letters at a grave, which sounds so fun. I'm so excited about this one. I'm probably gonna have to buy it though. And then I hope, the next one I have is I Hope This Doesn't Fight You. I think I'm either gonna love or hate this one. I put it towards love though. But I think this one is about this girl who writes a bunch of emails about how much she hates people, and then they accidentally get leaked. So that, it sounds really fun, but I think it's either gonna stress me out a lot. I'm either gonna love that or hate that. And then for 3, I have How the King of Elfham Came to Hate Stories. This is like the Carding story from the Folk of the Air series, or Cool Prince. And yeah, I think this is gonna have like his letters that he wrote while Jude was in exile, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'm excited to read this. This is also probably what I'm gonna have to get with my monies. So yeah. And then I have that in the middle. I tend to be iffy on like sequel series. I just don't love them as much usually. Like, I want to imagine what that character is feeling, but I really want to read those letters, so I hope they're in there. And then for 4, we have Shark Heart. Now this one's not going to be very lettery. It's kind of like, I just watched it at Uber, and this was her favorite book of the year, and it's like these poems and this kind of life as this guy is turning into a shark, and it sounds really weird and kind of not lettery, but I feel like lettery enough to fit in this video, so here we are. And then finally you have This Is How We Lose a Time War. I don't know why I have it out last. It's just like a gut feeling. This Is How We Lose a Time War is about these people who can time travel, and they're gonna be falling in love, I think. I don't really know, but I've been wanting to read this for years. Maybe that's why I have a high chance I don't like it, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking of reading. So yeah, hopefully I get to all these. Hopefully I have a fun video for you. But yeah, I'm gonna read one of them first, and you're about to find out which one. I forgot your halfway through update, but I finished I Hope This Doesn't Find You, and I am disappointed. The ending, not good. It was too rushed, I think. Like, the romance wasn't explored good enough for my taste. I feel like they got the enemies down. Like, I really liked their conflict and like their academic rivals, and I feel like that idea was handled well. It was well set up, and but I don't like where the romance went. Like, the dude character, I feel like we didn't get to go into his stuff as much, and that was set up, but we never really explored it. It was more so a stepping stone for the main girl, Sadie, and that was disappointing. I think once she decided she liked him, the progression to I like him to I'm gonna ask him out was way too fast. I really wanted there to be that long time of like, I don't want to like him, and I think that would have made the book so much better. And I think if we had that time where she was like, I don't want to want him, instead of jumping into that, then we could have explored his past so much easier and so much more beautifully instead of what we got. I think also like a lot of the side characters just felt hollow, and like what was happening that didn't affect Sadie just wasn't as in-depth as it could have been. I feel like the world didn't really feel lived in, and there's things that like didn't make sense about the school. Like, it's supposed to be this really prestigious school, but it's like so falling apart. It's sad, but yeah, so I'm disappointed, and that is sad. And I'm not disappointed in the way I thought I'd be. I thought I'd be too stressed out, but it didn't stress me out that much, which was good. But I think the concept was so cool, but I just think it could have been a little bit better. So yeah, that is my thoughts on I Hope This Doesn't Find You. I think I already summarized it in the beginning, so hopefully I did. So I'm halfway through How the King of Elfham Came to Hate Stories. I'm enjoying it. The art is beautiful. I love the liner. Let me show you something from the beginning of the book. So hopefully it's not like too spoilery, you know? Like this. Like, I love how sketchy the line art is. And like the colors are very muted. It's very beautiful. I really liked the chapter 5, Prince of Elfham is mildly inconvenienced. There's like 2 quotes I really liked, which is like half the book. It's about when he was first noticing Jude, and it's fun because he's like noticing her boot. Let me read it. Because she didn't know how to glide silently to disturb no leaf or branch. He felt smug to see how bad she was at even such an easy thing. It was only later that it disturbed him to think back on the shape of her boot in the soil, as though she was the only real thing in a land of ghosts. I thought that was beautiful. And then this is Jude, Carden thought, hating even the shape of her name, Jude. It's just so fun. And I mean, look at that art. Beautiful. Truly. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. It might not fit the theme of this at all, but you know, I'm happy to be reading it, and it's so pretty. So pretty. So yeah, that's your update. I'm gonna finish it soon. I'll probably have the same thoughts at the end of this. It stays. I finished the book. It's really fun. I really liked how they told the same story 3 times in 3 different ways. I think it's really fun, and it really just is so fairy tale. It's so legend. It's so forget the other words for it, but it's just beautiful, and I think that idea was handled so well, and the story was different enough each time that's like so interesting and so quick that it was so beautiful, and it's a wonderful tool. I think we got a good overview of Carden's life in this as a child growing up, his first impressions of Jude. I think it's really fun, and if you're interested in reading it, go for it. The art is beautiful. And just like, look at that. I adore it. I love the one of Jude and Carden staring at each other. Let me see if I can find that for you. But yeah, this one is gorgeous. I'm probably gonna mark this one too. Love it. So yeah, I think if you can get your hands on it and you're interested, definitely read it. So yeah, so I'm halfway through Shark Heart, and it has no right being this good. It has made me the closest to tears a book has ever done, and that is just impressive. Like, I don't cry in books. I've cried to one show, and like I had a tear ready to fall out of my eye as I'm reading the scene where where a stricken goodbye is said. And it's beautiful, like how it's written, and like the scenes, they're like scenes, and it's like you're switching through timelines, and like everything's very short. It's very quick and easy to read, and it's addictive, and it's lovely, and it's so, like, my heart is a harp that it's just strumming against playing, as a violin might be better. Violin, it's playing, and the tune, and it's just like, oh, this is what it's like to feel. This book is beautiful. Not very letter, but beautiful. So, hopefully it stays that way. I turned off Shark Heart, and it was so good. And you know what? I was right. There was a letter aspect to the thing. I was reading a text message, sorry. And it was a beautiful book. I really was so in tune with the emotions, and it's like, it was beautiful. Truly beautiful. And yeah, it was so sad. I really I liked the first half more than the second half, but it was all very, very good. And like the end of the first act, like there's tears in my eyes. I don't cry when I'm reading, but if I were to cry, it'd be to that book in that one scene. So yeah, beautiful book. I would very much recommend. I gave it 5 stars. Yes, I get a little bit spoilery for one of the characters' endings, but it's more like specifics of an apology. So keep that in mind. I forgot to do a halfway through update of Letters to the Lost, but I have finished it, and it was okay. I think the letter aspect was the best in this book out of all the books that I've read. And if you want a book where letters are essential plot point, I'm going to recommend Letters to the Lost. However, I think I didn't like the ending. I actually know I didn't. I feel like Juliet's ending should have been brought up sooner. And I think that just because I feel like how she ended, it was like the goal was for her to not feel this deep sorrow over her mom's death anymore. And I think that the reveal that we got, like, yeah, I got that ending, but it like opened so many more doors, and we're not continuing with the series or anything, so it's like I feel like there was better ways to handle it. And like her emotional charge is just different now, and not in a way that's like, oh, this is grief because of the reveal. Like, I think it would have been better if like she was in a different stage of grief, or like anything. Like, I think the ending makes, like, the twist makes sense, but I don't like ending there for that storyline. And then for Declan's story, the people at the end of this suck. This guy, he was one of these people. There's a person who was verbally abusive to him because he was, and like Declan, he is an asshole, but he's a kid, and this is a grown adult. And this guy, he was so mean to Declan, and we get to the end, and, like, Declan kind of tells him, like, this, like, not even to him. He's yelling at his mom and this guy, he's here. He tells him about his tragic backstory. Like, the dude finds out. And then he's like, sorry, we were both assholes. I had no idea what kind of childhood you had. And then it's, like, brushed off. Like, dude, you don't get away with being verbally abusive to a kid because you didn't know. Like, Declan, yeah, he sees the worst in people all the time. But honestly, Alan sucked, and he tried to pick fights with him. You are a grown adult. I hated that. That was kind of spoiler. But you deserve to know that. I also don't like the mom's apology. She didn't say sorry. She's just like, we both did our things. Girl, you neglected your son. His whole life, basically. And it's just like, so yeah, the ending pissed me off. I feel like things were just trying to be wrapped up in this neat little bow, and it couldn't. Like, this neat little bow made things worse. I think Juliet's is okay. I think the thing with the mom was okay. I don't love it, but, like, it is human, and I will accept it. Alan, I will not. I will not. So yeah, that is that. I think overall the book was really enjoyable. I finished it in one sitting, and, like, I really like the focus on anger. I feel like a lot of books don't really want to delve into anger, and, like, I don't read that many books about grief, so maybe more of those do, but it was nice to explore that character, and I could see a lot of, like, people in my life in these characters, and I really enjoyed that. But that ending could have been better. I'm disappointed. Maybe I just don't like the endings in this genre. That's kind of like the moral of this thing, because, like, I like the endings of the other books that way more literary. But yeah, this is a really long clip, but it's for 2, so that's okay. Found Corinne's letters in Holly Black's newsletter. It was fun reading them. They're all really sweet and cute and just very short. It's very easy to read. You just shroom right through them. They're like, most of them are a paragraph. One of them's like 5 paragraphs. These little stars things in between them, they're cute, they're sweet, they're what you would expect, but I'm happy. It's also funny, they just write Jude's name a bunch of times on a regular basis, apparently, and I love it. Okay, so I am halfway through Letters to the Lost. This is How You Lose a Time War, and it's very good. It's the most letter book I've read. He's falling, forgive me. Maybe I'll hold it. I am enjoying it. It is fun. I want to be reading Emily Wilde, but that's okay. I'm in kind of a grumpy reading mood. It's making me read slowly, which is annoying, and it's like, I don't know what I have to say, but I have words. I forgot to be holding it. What do I want to, I should describe that book. So they are enemies on this, like, in their time traveling spy agent things, and they write letters to each other, and it's really fun, and the letters are sweet and cute, and it's about opening up to people even in ways you don't expect, and it's just good. I mean, you don't need me to tell you it's good. You know, you've heard about this book before, surely, unless I'm like the only person you watch who talks about books, which, thank you, I guess. I don't know, that's weird to me. But yeah, I'm gonna stop recording now, I guess. From the book. Blood was everywhere, of course. Frozen this time, which smells better, which is such a line. Like, where did that come from? Who thought of it? Why do I love it? I do. It's just a fun detail. I like that detail. It's less stinky than it usually is. Beautiful. I have finished Letters to the Lost. Not Letters to the Lost. I keep thinking letter vlog and I think Letters to the Lost. Wrong. I have finished, whatchamacallit? I will think about it. This Is How You Lose a Time War. There we go. I really enjoyed it. It's good. I wouldn't say it's a favorite, but I can see why it would be somebody's. I can see why it's such a renowned book. And I would so recommend reading it. I feel like I would reread it to have the ability to read it in my hands rather than just on my phone because I just used it at Libby. But it was really good. Highly recommend. And yeah, that kind of ends this. I'm going to do a little clip where I review what I was talking about before. What we're doing right now is at the beginning of the vlog. If you remember, I don't know if you remember because I barely remember, but it's been way longer for me. But I made predictions about what order I would rank the books. So I'm going to share it with you right now. So first I'm going to share the order I predicted, the actual order, and then the star ranking. So my predictions were that I would like Letters to the Lost best, followed by I Hope This Doesn't Find You, followed by How the King of Elfham Came to Hate Stories, followed by Shark Heart, ending with This Is How You Lose a Time War. This is actually hilarious because this is so very, very wrong. So my rankings were first place, Shark Heart. Second place was tied for This Is How You Lose a Time War and How the King of Elfham Came to Hate Stories. I will say I probably like How the King of Elfham Came to Hate Stories more. I see myself like actually rereading it and looking forward to a reread of that. And then tied for third was I Hope This Doesn't Find You and Letters to the Lost. Which would I say, if I were to split the difference between these two, I probably liked Letters to the Lost a little bit more, and it was less outrageous, and the enjoyment was a little less throughout the book, but I'd say like the idea of it wasn't so bad. But yeah, both of those I did not love. And then my star ratings, so for I Hope This Doesn't Find You, that was a 3-star, and Letters to the Lost was also a 3-star. How the King of Elfham Came to Hate Stories and This Is How You Lose a Time War are both 4.25. And then Shark Heart was a 5-star read. Thoughts to give you. If you want a letter book, This Is How You Lose a Time War and Letters to the Lost are actually letter books, okay? So those will fill that department the best. If you want like a beautiful love story where it's just like pouring out your heart in this like unique format, Shark Heart 1000%. It is not a romance, I will warn you on that, but it is delicious. And then How the King of Elfham Came to Hate Stories is really good, and if you like the Folk of the Air series, I would recommend reading it. I won't dissuade you at all. The art's fun, it's just short. It doesn't, like, even if you don't want to know what happens to Jude and Carden after all the shenanigans of that series, this book won't really influence whatever daydream you have about it, unless it is like a death directly after the book ends, and to which I say you probably don't love the series enough to read it anyways, so yeah. But yeah, I had fun reading these books. I had thoughts when I was doing this. You could read, yeah, I could do another one of these vlogs if you want, like a letter themed vlog. I've been spying on books that follow it. There's like an Abby Jimenez book that I think has it. Letters to the Lost has a sequel that's texty, but I feel like that can count. What was the other thing? Emily Wild kind of counts, but I'm rereading it right now. But I can find more. and I would love to. So tell me if you want me to. If you could watch another one of my videos, I think you'd like it. And yeah, I feel like that's all I'm gonna say. Thank you all for watching, and thank you to all these lovely authors for writing these books. Thank you to Lexi, aka Newly Ova, for recommending me Shark Heart. She's a YouTuber. And thank you to all the other people I watched who recommended me other books. Thank you to my library for loaning me these books, and thank you to my charter school for buying me some of these. I look forward to seeing you all in future videos. Bye! Thank you for watching.